Since early 2019, most of us have known about the MTA's plans to replace the aging R62 type subway cars with the new R262 type cars. Now, we haven't gotten much information on these cars, other than the fact that they will include a lot of the same features as the R211s. In this video, I'm going to be listing the features that I want to see on the train, along with what I think the car assignments will be. Be sure to like, subscribe, and consider becoming a channel member for more content like this. Now, before we really get into things, just what is the R262? The R262 is a proposed train series for the New York City subway, set to replace the aging R62 and R62A cars, currently running on the A Division's 1, 3, and 6 lines, along with the 42nd Street shuttle. The order is divided into a base order and two option orders. The base order consists of 504 cars, while the first option order consists of 445 cars and 415 cars in the second. They are to be arranged in 5-car sets for the mainline IRT and 6-car sets for the 42nd Street shuttle. Both the train set's design and features are based on the specifications of the R211 subway cars, which are currently being built by Kawasaki for the B division. This includes open gangways, CBTC, and large route bullets on the exterior. Now, at first thought, it seems like a good idea to have the R262 adapt some of the R211's features. However, there are some issues with these features, and I think the biggest issues involve the open gangways and the LED route bullets. Starting with the open gangways, you may be knowledgeable on the fact that the R211 contract is split into 3 parts, with the R211A, T, and S. The R211As are separate cars, not connected by open gangways, similar to what we see with the current rolling stock in the system, while the R211Ts are set to include the gangway connections in between cars. As of this time, we don't even know if the R211Ss will have the gangways or not. Now, this is something I want the MTA to avoid with the R262 order. Instead of some cars having open gangways and others not, I think all cars part of the order should have them. Open gangways are widely used across the world, most notably in Asia with systems like the Hong Kong MTR, and in Europe with systems like the London Underground. Hell, even Toronto has them here in North America. Open gangways are not something we should be shying away from. These gangways will help some of the crowding issues by allowing passengers to stand in between cars. They will also allow for better passenger spacing, as people might be more inclined to walk a few cars up through the train instead of crowding the central cars. Now, as for the LED route bullets, I think they need to be completely overhauled from what we currently have on the R211 units. I think the front LEDs are fine and can stay how they are. However, these side LEDs must be improved. I think the main issue with these side screens is that they are way too small and create a readability issue, especially for those, like me, with poor eyesight. The contributing factor to this are the wider doors, which I felt like were fine already. The larger doors make the windows smaller, which introduces yet another issue, this time for those who have claustrophobia. Other cities, like London, have solved this issue by integrating the door panels into the windows as seen on the 1972 and 1973 stock, and by implementing plug doors, which are situated on the outside of the train and simply cover the window when they open. Now, I don't think the LEDs on the outside are the only ones that need to be improved, but the interior ones as well. I don't know whose idea it was to make the LEDs blue and not an easier to read color like yellow or even white, but it was a horrible one. Now, I don't think the LED screens are horrible. I actually think they have some nice improvements over the previous NTTs in the system. These new LEDs show which side the doors will open on and the real route bullet. I even like the door LEDs, which light up green and red depending on whether the doors are open or closing. I do, however, think there is room for improvement regarding them. Now, sticking with the topic of screens, it's time to move to the interior LCD screens. I really like the idea of upgrading the Find system and putting them over the doors. The new Find screens are easy to read and display a ton of useful information. The same cannot be said for the other LCDs that seem to be replacing the advertisement panels. Now, from what we've seen of these screens on some of the current NTTs in the system, they switch between advertisements and reminders to wear your mask on the subway, but I think these have untapped potential. Why not have the screens display useful information such as service changes? The MTA can keep the current ads and mask reminders, but also switch to the current service changes throughout the system, along with station information when the train is pulling into and stopped at a station. This will help those who may not be too familiar with the system know what trains and buses they can transfer to without the MTA crowding the announcements, like the 59th Street announcement on the Lexington Avenue line. It can also help those who might be regular commuters know what lines are delayed so they can avoid them. And now for the final improvement, I'm going to be talking about the announcements. Now, this may be more of a niche issue, but I think we can all agree that the current IRT announcements are pure chaos. They have 3 to 4 different voices making a single station announcement. While it may not be a huge issue, it is annoying as a passenger to hear this every day. I just want continuity with the announcements, plain and simple. Now, I've told you about the things I want to see improved and added from some of the current new technology trains. But where do I think the R262's will end up? Well, let's go through my predictions. But before we do, I would like to just remind you that all of this is speculation and not official information. This is just what I think the car assignments will be. Let's start with the easiest lines, the 42nd Street Shuttle and the 7. The 42nd Street Shuttle is obviously getting R262's. This can easily be determined by simply looking at the number of cars the MTA is ordering. The base order consists of 504 cars. Now, knowing that the mainline IRT lines only use 10-car trains arranged in 5-car sets, it's odd to see an order of 504 cars. Basic math will tell you that 504 is not evenly divided by 5, which makes it clear that a portion of this order will consist of trains in 6-car sets to replace the R62's currently in operation on the line. For the 7, it doesn't need R262's. The line is fully R188 operated, and the R188s are specially designed for the 7 line, with their addition of a C car to make 6-car sets. Now for the mainline IRT lines. I think the R262's will go to the 2, 4, and 5 lines, with a possibility to make it to the 3 line, should the option orders be exercised. Now I think it's a given that the 4 and 5 trains get the R262's. Lexington always gets the newest IRT cars first, as it is the busiest trunk in the system, and these will be the subway cars with the highest capacity in the division. Since the 2 and 5 share a fleet, the 2 would also get R262's. Now I suspect the 3 line will also get the R262's, as it is the other express line, and I assume the MTA would want the cars with the highest capacity on their express lines, as they tend to get extremely packed, especially during rush hours. Now, with the trains going to the express lines, the R142 and R142A would be going to the locals, which are the 1 and 6. I think the 1 will get the R142's, and the 6 will see a combined fleet of R142 and R142A's, and hopefully with that, we'll see them get better treatment, as currently Jerome isn't taking good care of their units. I really hope all of you enjoyed this video. I don't normally do content like this on the channel, but I thought it would be nice to switch it up a bit. Those are the main things I think can be improved and implemented on the R262's. There are some other things I wish it had, like transverse seating and all that, But that's coming from a railfanner's perspective. What do you think can be improved with the R262's? What company do you want to build the cars? Personally, I'd want Kawasaki. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see all of you in the next video. Happy railfanning, everyone.